probably have never heard of the shy and nocturnal pangolin, which lives in Asia and Africa's forests or grasslands. Pangolins are cute, small, approximately house cat size, and can protect themselves if they feel threatened by curling up in a circle. They are also incredibly popular vulnerable species plus the most trafficked mammal in the world. WildAid estimates that every year people catch up to 100,000 pangolins for their scales and their meat. Conservationists struggle to save the pangolin, the world's most illegally sold mammal, before they are eaten to near extinction. Chinese, Vietnamese, and Southeast Asian communities consider pangolins' meat a delicacy, whereas scales are valuable for traditional medicine. There are still 8 species to exist in India, China, Southeast Asia and parts of Africa. Javan rhinoceros is one of the few 5 subspecies and is closest to Indian rhino species but small in size. The Javan rhinos were once plentiful in Indonesia and Southeast Asia, but now only about 60, searched into 2 known populations, are left in the wild. They are now in the critically endangered list. There are no Javan rhinos left in the wild. We can consider the Vietnam War as the biggest reason for Javan rhinos' depletion, as it has severely depleted its natural habitat, and is considered as one of the biggest disruptions to the existence of Javan rhino. Poachers are looking for their horns like other rhino populations to sell in the black market. In the last 15 years, only 2 female Sumatran rhinoceros have bred successfully, but efforts of breeding programs in captivity have not worked well. The red wolf is the gray wolf's cousin. Although native to Florida and the Southeast, in eastern North Carolina, you may find just around 25 to 40 individuals living in the wild. IUCN classifies red wolves in the critically endangered list. Conservation efforts to save these intelligent animals have been made, but they are still on the brink of extinction. We know these canine species for their shyness and lifelong mating. In fact, in the wild in 1980, the red wolf was deemed extinct. The number of red wolves in captivity has risen to 207, and there are now around 100 in the wild. A success story, sure, but there are still causes that have contributed to the red wolf's endangerment, including the serious decline of their hunting ground. Fortunately, there are wildlife reserves to protect these wolves against urban expansion in their natural habitat. Although this rare species is sometimes called forest giraffes, it looks nothing like a giraffe until you look closer. Okapis have a long tongue, yet their limbs have black and white stripes like a zebra and physique like a horse. Okapi is the giraffe's sole living relative, as both belong to the family of Giraffidae, with giraffes are of the genus Giraffa while okapis are of Okapia. The history of the okapi appears to be back in ancient Egypt, where we can find wall engravings of these animals. There were stories of an African unicorn in Europe and Asia before the 20th century. In 1887, Henry Morton Stanley described a kind of donkey named Addy in the Congo. Today we know that such species mentioned could be the okapi. Scientists, zoologists, and scholars today are much better acquainted with these weird animals. The reality that the genus Okapia johnstoni is a true fossil, a living creature who seems the way his ancient ancestors are and does not live in close relations, for example, the fact that they are like the giraffe given its zebra-like coloring. We also know Amur leopards as an eastern leopard, which is the most endangered feline species in the world. This is a solitary, nocturnal leopard with an estimated wild population of over 84 individuals live in the forests of the Amur Basin in eastern Russia, with some spread around neighboring China and a new sanctuary built in 2012. The leopards in Amur have the lowest levels of genetic variation, mating with genetic relatives, than any leopard subspecies, leaving them particularly vulnerable to extinction. Amur leopard has a thick coat and long thick hair, which varies on their environments from creamy yellow to rusty orange. Their rosettes, spots, have thicker black borders and are more widespread than other leopard subspecies. The legs and the paw size are larger than other subspecies, which makes their movement in deep snow easier. Despite human interference plays a significant role in the endangered state of Amur leopards, their low degree of genetic variation for the recent population decline has caused several health problems including reduced fertility.